The Takeover.
Okay. Did we start? Yeah, we did. That's how I start.
Takeover.
Now, there's a lot of things we're going to get into. When I speak, and when I speak, and when I speak.
This is good.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right, we're good. We're good. The levels look good. They could be a little bit high. Levels are okay. I also get reminded every week that the levels are okay. So that's always good. It's good that I have someone to remind me that the levels are okay. God forbid I'm not paying attention. But that's the reason. The reason is because I'm reminded that the levels are okay. We got our things set up and ready to go. We got things ready to go, and that's exciting. And the week has started. And if you're not sure, now if you're a first time guest, if you're a first time, well, you're not a guest. You're just listen. If this is the podcast started. Okay. Here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna take a sip of the coffee because it's got to kick in. That's good, huh? That's some good coffee. It's late to have coffee, but unless you're me. Now, here's the thing. Here's what's going on. So we're going to start the podcast. Hey, guys, welcome to the Takeover. This is Michael Lenoci. That's not how I usually start. I go, hey, guys, welcome to the Takeover with Michael Lenoci. I'm your host, Michael Lenoci. That's redundant. So it's like, hey, guys, welcome back to the podcast. And if you're a first-time listener, then welcome aboard. Welcome to the team. And if you don't know about the Takeover podcast, you're just kind of hanging out with me. We're hanging out and we're updating you on life. And I'm here to coach you. I'm here to coach you and make you feel better because that's what this is about. This is about all of us getting better, but this is also the greatest sports podcast ever to exist that doesn't really talk about sports, although I do sports with other things, but still. And if you're listening, that's awesome. We like that you're listening. And just a reminder that if you are listening to the podcast, please leave a 5-star review. The 5-star reviews help us out a lot. And when I say us, I mean the team. And you can be a part of the team. You can join, and I have secret team meetings every week. If you want to be a part of the team meeting, you could join on YouTube. There's a join button next to YouTube. If you're on my YouTube page and you subscribe, you could join. And there's also the Patreon. I'm trying to get my Patreon people over to the YouTube memberships, but in the meantime, you could watch the meetings on the Patreon as well. So they're both going on. So there's 2 places to see the team meetings. So check it out on the Patreon or on the YouTube membership. And that's just a friendly reminder. But if it's your first time here, welcome aboard because it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun roller coaster. It's a smooth roller coaster. Sometimes there's downs, sometimes there's ups. This year made this podcast a roller coaster. Now, next year, it's not going to be as much as a roller coaster because it's just going to be going up. We're just going to be headed upwards. We're going to be headed on the incline. We're inclining up. We're not declining. We're inclining up. And because you're going to be a part of it because we're going to have winning spirits. We're already at that time of the year. Who would have thought? We started this in March at the beginning of quarantine, week 1. First episode, week 1 quarantine. And now we're about to be in November. And that's insane because it's the weather's getting better. I'm wearing hoodies, no more black shirts anymore. We're going to have different type of hoodies each week because it's cool out. It's cool out, and whatever the temperature is outside of in the environment, in the ozone of at Los Angeles, that's what it is in my house because this place was built so long ago that we just have to deal with whatever the temperature is. So that's why I have a window unit that I used to kind of have on in the summers during the podcast, but now I have a hoodie on, and I'm going to be wearing hoodies because it's cold in my place because now it's starting to cool off in LA. And that's what's great about LA is because in the day, you could walk around in a shirt. People are just walking around in shirts and stuff and just having a good time, and maybe they're having a lemonade. But then at night, what's happening? At night, people are wearing hoodies. They're wearing jackets. It depends what mood you're in. I like to wear hoodies during the week. During the week, I'm a hoodie guy. And I think a lot of you guys should go and follow my lead. And you don't have to, but I am the coach, and you are listening to the Takeover. So the whole reason of this episode is to kind of teach you guys how to have a good swag, good swag during the week. You know what I mean? It's not good swag. I don't really have good swag, but I like to wear hoodies during the week because it's more like casual. It's more like, hey, I want to be comfortable. I'd wear hoodies every single day if it wasn't frowned upon. And I'm not saying it's frowned upon like, saying a bad word or something in public. I'm saying it's frowned upon like it's like people like when you dress up, people are like, whoa, you look nice. You look a little bit nicer. And it's pretty. We like the way you look. It makes us feel better that you look better. Do you think is that a true fact? Is that a true statement? Is that a fact that is true, or is it a lie? Do people feel better when somebody looks better? I would go as far to say that it's not true, because I've been with someone who got extra dressed up one time and I didn't like it. It made me not feel as good. I was like, this is too much for me. Like, you're too dolled up. It's too much. You had fur. You had some fur going around her neck. And I was just like, you know what? I don't know. I want to have some chips and guac and a margarita. And I don't want to have to think about that you're wearing some beautiful dress with some fur. Like, can we relax? Because I'm wearing a hoodie and it's Wednesday. Now, if it's Saturday and it's prom, that's different. But most of the time, if I'm going out with a girl, I don't want her to think it's prom because we're just having a comfortable evening. And I'll wear a hoodie on a date. You think I won't? I will. How about this? I'll set up a date next week, wear a hoodie, and then I'll come back and tell you what happened. And she'll be like, whoa, you look cozy. And I'll be like, so do you. Because she's going to be wearing like something light too, because she's not going to overdo it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked her on a date, right? That's probably the way things are going. That's probably the way things will go. Probably. Realistically. Most likely. Those were a lot of similar words that you can put together and it makes the sentence sound correct. That's an interesting thing. Now we're having fun. We're having a good time. And that's why are we having a good time? Because the coffee's kicking in. And now it's kicking in. And that's this show, man. This is what this show is about. And I got to be honest. I felt like, sometimes the podcast in the last few weeks was a little bumpy and there were some bruises and I was a little all over the place trying to really write it out and structure it. Now we're back in the groove. And you know why? Because I'm letting it flow. And you know what the flow is? You know what the flow is? The flow is a river and it's smooth and you could drink out of my river. You could always drink out of my river because it's clean water. And did I grab the coffee cup and not sip it? Yes. Did I break a rule? Maybe. We don't have rules necessarily all the time, okay? Wow, we're feeling good. We're feeling really good. I like the energy right now. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of you guys too. I'm feeling like this is a good episode. I feel already I'm excited. I'm not going to jump ahead and say this is one of my favorite episodes yet. But if I was going to say an episode was my favorite episode, this is how it would start. This is for sure how it would start. I feel good. We got good energy going. We got good energy flowing. And you know what I think it is? I think that it's that I'm doing a late night record and I worked out today and I feel good. I feel confident. I feel tight. I feel tight muscle-wise, not in my vagina. I don't have a vagina, but if I did, it would for sure be tight because I would work out tight vagina moves. Sorry, Mom, a little dirty, whoopity-doo. But I think I haven't sworn yet. I think I've gotten better with the swearing, and I don't think I've sworn this whole episode so far. I swear to God, unless that counts. And, believe what you want. That's your own religion. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just hanging out. But I haven't even looked over at the notes and what we got to get in today, which is overwhelming because it's like, wow, do we even have enough time to get to everything? Because I know I have a lot of bullet points, but maybe I don't even have to use them because right now I feel very connected to you guys. And it's weird because you guys aren't even here, but I'm thinking about you guys watching it and I'm feeling like, oh, they're vibing with it. We're vibing. And it's like the music. It's like when I had the music flowing through my veins in Joshua Tree and I felt connected to that. I feel connected to this right now. I feel like we're flowing a lot. And we might not have a dance party this week because we don't need that because we got this. We got us. And those are souls. We're spiritual. So I swear on spirituality. Ah, damn it. Maybe the coffee kicked in too much. Okay, so leave the 5-star reviews. That's what we got going. All right, so we got a fun week. Let's just get let's quickly give a shout out to our sponsor. Okay, that's why we do the podcast. It's not why we do the podcast, but we're thankful for them because they support me and they support us. And if they're supporting me, they're supporting us. So we're going to give a shout out to Manscaped and we're going to go over it a little bit. You might be Chewbacca, Bigfoot, or a hairy bear. But it's what's under the costume that really matters. Okay? Just to give you an example, I like to groom. And I groomed without Manscaped for a while, but then when they hopped on board to be my sponsor, I started using the products. They sent it to me. Way better. Listen, everybody knows I have extra long armpit hairs. I trim those. Down there, everybody's trimmed. I don't think I've ever had a bush fully grow out. So I trim with their great, their 3.0 clipper, which is great. Okay. And I also have the nose hairs, which I haven't been itching my nose as much on the podcast because I have the nose hair trimmer. So those are all two great things. But you got to go check it out yourself on manscaped.com. There's a bunch of fun products on there. They also have some cool shirts that are very comfortable that I work out in. And then the underwear, we don't even have to get into the underwear part. You already know it's amazing. But that being said, don't be that hairy guy. Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with the perfect package of 3.0. And here's a little image of it. And if you're listening, just pretend you see an image. But if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, inside the perfect package, you'll find their electric trimmer called the Lawnmower. The Lawnmower is what it's all about right now. The Lawnmower is a 3.0. It's a Lawnmower 3.0. And this is a waterproof and skin-safe trimmer, which will reduce nicks on your pumpkins. Now, if you've been having nick problems when you've been shaving your boops, your pumpkins, you're not going to have that problem anymore. You can also create less of a mess by trimming in the shower using the Magic Mat. It's a disposable shaving mat. Disposable shaving mats. Plural. There's a bunch of them. Now, I haven't tried any of those out yet because I don't really shave in the shower because while I live in this old place, why am I wearing a hoodie? Because this place is cold. Because there's no central AC here because it's old. And because it's old, we're not shaving in the shower because we're not going to clog up those drains because we've had those problems. But that's what these mats will be great for, because these mats you probably put down and it goes on the mats and then you throw the mats away. So that's probably, maybe I could shave in the shower, but most of the time I do it before I go in the shower and then I rinse off. You do your own thing, but just so you know, they do have these disposable shaving mats, which I'm curious to see what those are like. Hey guys, send me some. And of course, let's not forget about the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits, so why not put deodorant on the smelliest parts of your body? That's true. They did make a valid point there, and I'm all about valid points. If you're going to make a point and it's valid, I'll get behind it, okay? We don't want to smell. Girls don't want to smell bad stuff, so let's get with it, okay? And the Perfect Package 3.0 also includes anti-chafing performance boxer briefs that keep your package cool and smelling fresh all day. And I don't even have to reiterate how I feel about the underwear that they have. It's so good. Again, I use a different brand of underwear, but when they gave me their underwear, it's the same material pretty much. Feels the same. It's just so comfortable. Like you'll rub your legs. You'll be like, whoa, this is way better. Like I'll go, like I never used to spend money on underwear. I used to like try to save money with my underwear. Not anymore with this. Like I'll always spend extra money for these boxers because they're way better. And then we have and also part of the package, the 3.0 package. This is all a holiday deal for Halloween, and next week we'll go into like the Thanksgiving things after Halloween's over. But these are all the promotions for right now that you can get right now. If you go to manscaped.com, you get 20% off and free shipping if you use the code Takeover. That's just on top of everything else what I'm throwing in. It's time to get clean and mean with this Perfect Package 3.0. So check that out. Stay sexy for Halloween, and your balls will definitely thank you. Use the code Takeover if you want. That's a bonus. And yeah, we got a lot of fun things that you can check out. Go to manscaped.com and see what you like, and let me know what you think, and give us a shout out. We appreciate it, and we appreciate Manscaped for supporting me and being my livelihood. Part of my livelihood through this pandemic. So that's what we're grateful for. So let's appreciate them. Now we're back. We're back to the takeover, and we started. Now, some of you probably were listening to that, that ad read you were listening to. And if you didn't, that's fine. But I try to make the ad reads fine. I got in an argument with a kid in the comments. He was just like, I don't understand why you're doing the ad reads. I'm like, oh, because it's my livelihood. This is how I make money because I don't have a 9-to-5 job like you. So that's why. And he didn't believe that I was getting paid by Manscaped, which is crazy to think I would do this for hopefully getting paid. So if you don't enjoy it, you just do the skip. now I got to deal with him. He's going to comment on this, and I got to deal with him again. But it's fun. I actually get very entertained by it. I don't really even know his real name. You should introduce yourself because I know you're watching this episode. Like, maybe tell us your name. Tell us about yourself so you can be a part of the podcast a little bit more, because I do enjoy it. It's fun because I feel like I know you a little bit now. Like we're one in one together. You're a part of the podcast. You're one of my mascots. I think his name is XYXY in the comments. I don't know his name, but it seems like a nice guy. Seems like a really nice guy. Probably good guy, has good morals. You know, I would love to know a bit about yourself. Maybe tell us what you do for a living. Where are you from? You know, it's fun. It's fun to get to know people. Coffee's flowing good. It's really good. And you know what I got to be honest about the coffee. I started putting sugar in it, and I was always just doing black coffee. But recently, I've been putting sugar in my coffee, and I'm worried. I'm like, am I being bad? Like, why am I doing this all of a sudden? And I think it gets rid of my sugar crave of trying to eat like cookies late at night if I do it a little bit in the coffee. Maybe. No, you know what? There's a reason why I did. Because my mom, she would send me coffee pods. During the pandemic, she's been uploading me in coffee because, listen, a lot of my bad habits were going to coffee shops and spending too much coffee every day, $10, $15 a day on coffee. So it helps a lot. So she sends me these coffee pods, and the Dunkin' Donut ones, Mom, if you're listening, the Dunkin' Donut ones, they get a little bit bitter. The other ones you were sending before the Dunkin' Donut ones were great. Those were great. But these Dunkin' Donut ones, which Dunkin' Donuts has great coffee, it leaves me with a dry, my mouth is like really dry and this bitter taste. So I've been adding the sugar to kind of make it a little bit smoother, and it's helped. It's definitely helped a lot. So I like it better with the sugar. So I think it's a temporary thing. But, you know, when she sends the other pods, it will get better. By the way, Mom, this is a reminder that I got about a week left of pods. So you got to restock the pods and help me out right now, because you're another sponsor. Again, guys, a sponsor to the podcast is my mother. My mother is one of the sponsors of the podcast, so she helps out. And it's funny, man. I was talking to my mom today. Literally, I just got off the phone with her earlier, and she was like, since we're on the subject, she was like, you know what I want for you, Michael? You know what I want for you? And she's, you know, I'm not going to do the British accent thing. I'm not good at it. But she's like, you know what I want for you, Michael? This is what I really hope for you next year. This is the year I want you to find a nice girl, and you're going to settle down, and she's going to be supportive of you, and she's going to help you out. And I go, Mom, the thing about that is I kind of mentally am not there yet. I want to get to a more stable place in my career before I put energy into somebody else's life. I'm fine with dating and casually dating. Like I've stressed a lot, and I'm very upfront with women when I date them that's how I feel, and I'm very honest about it. But I just feel like I have more work to do on myself, physically, emotionally, intellectually, and career-wise before I can focus on a relationship. And people will disagree with this, and people say, and throughout this whole podcast, we've gone into this subject matter a lot, but people will always be like, well, you know, maybe they can help you get to your goals. Maybe, but I feel good about what decisions I'm making right now. Some people will even go, oh, maybe you should see a therapist. Maybe there's a reason you don't want to settle down. And it's maybe you're right, but most likely it's me understanding what I want and what I want to do, and I have a plan, and I have ideas and goals, and I think this is just right for me. I just feel like I have to still be a little bit selfish. Now that we got a little serious for a second, let's get back on the playing around playground. My mom was like, hey, I want you to settle down a little bit. And I was like, Mom, listen, you don't want me doing that right now. Like, you want me to take women out on dates and spend money? Like, I don't have the money to spend right now. We got to save. We're in tight. Comics aren't working. It seems like it's opening up a little bit, but it could close back down. There could be a spike. So we got to conserve everything we got. And you don't want me asking you for more money unless you really want me to date. I'll go on these dates, and I'll pay for these girls. I'll pay for the dates, and I'll pay for their dinners, and then it's gonna come out of your pocket. Now, do you want that to happen, Mom? Do you want to have money come out of your pocket because you got to support me and my bills, because my bills are even more expensive because I got to find a woman to settle down with, because that's what you want. You want me to settle down? Hey, Mom, by all means, I'll settle down, but you're going to have to pay for the relationship. Do you want that? You don't want that. See, now she's back on my side. She's like, you're right. She was like, you're right. You should focus and continue to do what you're doing. And see how she flipped just like that. She thought she knew what was best for me. Moms will always say that. Mothers always know what's best for you. That's what she says. That's what's one of her quotes. But does she really? Do they really? Mothers always know what's best for a child or for a young adult, and maybe even up to the ages of like 22, 23, 24. They don't know best after 31. They have their life experience, but their life experience is what was for what they went through is different from what someone in their 30s is going through today. I don't know if that makes sense. My point is, Mom, send some more coffee pods. We need more coffee pods, so we could get the coffees kicking in. Guys, I know I did talk about like those little Italian dinosaur hoodie for merch ideas. Waiting on that, so I don't know if I'm going to do that. But, either way, have you guys ever really tried to sing? Like, are you good at singing? I'm not good at singing, but if I try to get good at singing, it's like I feel like I get a little bit better. And I'll just sing random songs sometimes, but like I think it's like I don't even try to be funny if I sing, but if I try to sing, it's like really like we're gonna get good. That was me just, I don't know, I'm doing a line. We're going to get good is the line. We're going to get good. Like, that was awful. The first take was better, but like, if I'm like, we're going to get good, it's like really bad. It's really bad, but I enjoy doing it. Isn't that suck that like singing, if you do sing, it's fun. It feels good, but if you're not good at it, nobody else wants to hear it. But it feels good to sing. Like, it really does. Like, even if you're in your car and you're by yourself and you do it, it makes you feel better. You feel good doing it. But, like, nobody else can be a part of it if you're really bad. Like, but it is fascinating to watch someone sing who's really good. I get captivated. When I watch, like, not, like, a famous singer, although, yes, like, Amiee Winehouse, like, when I watch her videos of her singing, like, I can't stop staring. I just stare. I don't know what that is. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. Like, I admire someone with a beautiful voice. Now, when I watch, like, up-and-comers, like, on an Instagram, like, if you come across an Instagram and someone's a really good singer, like, if I really enjoy them, I'll just follow them. Even if they're, like, they don't have a lot of followers and they're coming up, I'm like, wow. I'm inspired by just hearing them. It makes me feel better, and it makes me feel in a good mood. And now singing myself can do that sometimes too. Like, I had to do it for this commercial audition. I had to put myself on tape, and I was watching myself, and I was like, what's the line that I was just doing? We're gonna win. Let's just do something like that. Like, we're gonna win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in my head, I want to be able to do that. Like, I know I'm not, but like, I want to be able to go, we're gonna win. You know what I mean? Like, when they do that, you know, when they do that with their hands, when they're like, we're gonna win. You know what I mean? Where they could change it. Like, if that makes sense. Like, we're gonna win. Well, a country song singer would be like, we're gonna win. A country guy would be like, we're gonna win. A pop star would be like, we're gonna win. And then like a rapper would be like, we're gonna win. I don't know. It's like, it's going to be horrible because you have to listen to my voice. I feel good doing it. Like, I could do that for 20 minutes. For 20 minutes, I could go, we're going to win. Yeah, baby. We're going to win. Yeah. But, like, I know it's hurting your ears. I know that a lot of you guys, if you're listening and not even watching, your ears are hurting a lot. If you're watching, you might be able to deal with it because it's funny to watch someone who's bad at singing. Like, especially if they're trying. Like, I'm trying hard. Like, if you're watching me and you're seeing me do this, we're gonna win. Like, you could tell I'm really trying to be good at it. But if you're listening to it, it's probably awful. You probably skipped. You pushed 15 seconds forward. Maybe. But I don't know. It feels good, though. I feel good. Flowing good. We got a river going, and you guys could drink from it. Drink from my river, because we're going good. Oh yeah. And again, on going on top of, not going on top of it. That's a weird saying. Adding to what I was talking about with the being single thing, it's like this is it. This is what it is, and this is what I'm doing. And if we meet, ladies, and you're on this bus, this is where the bus stops. You could get off at the bus, or you could move along and go to the next bus stop. But I tell you what the stop is. I go, hey, this is a stop. for you. And if you want to get off at this bus stop, I'm letting you know that I am focused on what I have to do, and you're not going to change my business plan. Now, knowing that, if you want to get off the bus, you're more than welcome to. I welcome people to get off the bus. I want you to get off the bus and explore life with me. I would like that. I like to casually explore life with you, and I like having you around, and I could also grow to fall in love with you. But I am also very certain with what my agenda is and what my plan is. So if you don't like this bus stop, there are way more bus stops, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. This is a bus stop. And it's fine if you want to be single and you want to get off at this bus stop. That's great. But if not, you got to go to the next city. You got to go to the next city, wherever that bus is going to take you. But I always tell you what my bus stop is, and that's how I like. I like the analogy of like, hey, if I meet a girl, you're just on a bus, and you open the door and you're like, hey, are you sure this is the stop you want to make? Are you sure that you want to be here? Do you want to get off the bus? Because if you get off the bus, it's going to be a good time. We're going to have a good time. I promise you that. I promise you, ladies, I promise you we're going to have a good time if you want to get off the bus. But you can't expect to get souvenirs here. We don't have a souvenir store here. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, listen, I'm a little town. I'm a town, and the bus is stopping in my town. You can get off. We don't have a souvenir store. You know, it might not be a place you want to come back to again, and it might not be a place you want to live. And it probably isn't going to be a place you live because it's not a big enough town yet. It's not a city yet. It's not a city with enough things. Right now, we're just a small town. So if you want to get off the bus and explore, you're more than welcome to. But if you're looking for a big city where you could settle down and have a family, you best get back on that bus and keep going to the next city. Does that make sense? That's basically what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm that small town before the big city. And it's just like you're not gonna get off the bus right here, and you're not gonna start your life in this town. It's just there's not enough to do. There's not enough to do around here. So for now, you got to keep going if you don't want to just relax and chill in a small town for a little bit. But this small town, I promise you that this small town is going to build, and the population's going to get bigger, and people are going to start opening up businesses around my town, and it's going to turn into a big city. But for now, it's not a big city. So you're probably going to have to go to the next city. So just saying, if your bus does stop in front of my town, get off if you want, but you're not getting souvenirs. This all makes sense. I know I'm making sense right now. I'm letting you know that my town doesn't have a souvenir shop spot. Because that's not what we do. Nobody goes back to their city or goes back to where they came from. They're like, I found this small town. Sure, they say I found this small town, but they don't have anything to show for it. They're like, there was no souvenir shop, but I'll always remember that town. They always remember the town, and maybe one day they'll be like, man, that town got big. It's a bigger city now. I really like that. I think that makes sense. I think it does. I really do. I think that was fun. That was a fun little groove we got in. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I hate to repeat myself, but this is the content I say. Man, the light's bright today, so when I don't stare at the camera and I look away, I just see circles. Everything I do now is everything I'm doing now, right now in my life. Everything I'm doing right now in my life is to get myself in position to have a family. That's a main goal. Okay, let's not forget that. Let's understand that is a main goal. But for me to get to that, I need to, get better at my craft and get more successful at it. So, and if that takes me my whole life, then so be it. Then I will die trying to get it. I don't know if I'll ever get to the family part. I don't know. Life is uncertain. We don't know. You never know what's certain in life. But that isn't the last ultimate goal for sure. But I also know that I'm not going to reach that goal before hitting my other goals. And now, is there a small chance? Is there a small chance that I might not reach any of the goals to get to there? Yes. Am I okay with that? Yes, I am. I've accepted that. I might not reach all my goals. And I think everybody should. And I think that that's important. And I think that for this next segment, maybe we could put a little music right here. Here's the thing. The reason you are always pressured, or not pressured, I should say, the reason you're always preached to or taught, like everybody's always like, have you ever written out your goals? Have you ever thought out your goals? Or do you have a plan? Even if they're weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, or career goals, or life goals. Like, do you have them written out? I have them in my head. Sometimes I write them out, but I do have goals. Now, people say they want you to write those goals because if you write them out, you're more likely to work towards them and remind yourself that that is what you want out of life, and then you'll do things that will help you get towards those goals. So that's why it is important. It is not guaranteed that you'll hit those goals. And on the way to achieving those goals, other avenues might open up that might change your goals into other goals. You might like as you're pursuing your dreams or your passions or your goals, other avenues might open up and make you realize that you don't want those original goals anymore and you want to set new goals. That is true. That is very true. And I can't say that for experience that has been true necessarily for me. Because I think going into this 10 years ago when I moved out to LA and I was like, I want to be a comedian, I've always had my career goals. And in the back of my head, I always also did want to have a family, but I didn't think about it as much until now. I think about it a lot. I do want it really bad, but I'm also okay with the fact that I might not get it. And it doesn't make me sad, and I don't want to make anyone else sad, but I do know that I have to achieve certain career goals and personal goals within myself and stand-up comedy and acting and whatever else I have ideas for that are more important to me right now. And if I can get to those, that can help me get to the ultimate goal of having a family, which is the ultimate goal. But I am prepared for even my smaller goals to not even work out. That's fine because I am truly comfortable in myself and with my, I don't really believe in religion, but my spirit, my energy, my whatever is inside of us, whatever that is. I know that everybody has it because in comedy you can feel a connection when you're in a room. You could walk into a room and you could feel an energy. So there is something inside of us, whatever it is, that feeds us life, that makes us feel alive when we sing. When I was talking about us singing and how it makes you feel good, and it makes you feel good to watch somebody sing. It makes you feel better inside. Whatever that is, I'm at peace and happy no matter what, as long as I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Regardless of the finances and the achievements or accolades that I will or will not get pursuing this career, I'm feeding whatever is inside of me by doing what I'm doing right now. And that's all that matters. And I'm at peace with that. And I think I wouldn't even be able to articulate that sentence 6 months ago. I think a lot of it has to do with this year helping me realize that. But part of me is like, I hope that, I hope that everybody out there could just experience that. And I don't think a lot of people do. I think people will live a whole life and not even know about that. But I know that within myself that I'm okay living with the outcome of what I've chosen to pursue and do, and being okay with not necessarily achieving all my goals because I'm feeding my soul with what I want to do. I'm truly happy, and I can't stop doing what I'm doing and pursuing it. And even if it feels like I'm starting over, and you have ups and downs in life, I won't stop until I reach these goals. And again, the ultimate goal is to have a family, but it's just like I would never not be able to do this. And not to get like sadistic in a way, but it's like I could never go from like having an experience of performing at Carnegie Hall to going to get a real job at FedEx and delivering packages. Like that's insane. Like to me, that like that's the formula for suicide. To go from Carnegie Hall to a 9-to-5 job, that would be the ultimate depression to me. And I would just be like, I'm not living anymore. So it's like whatever you have inside you that feeds your soul, I think you always follow that and you chase that, and you block out all the societal norms and things that people say, well, you need this, you need that, you need a 401k, you need health insurance, you have to do this because that's the way things are, and that's the way our economy works, and that's the way the American dream is. You want to build a family. Like, no, you don't have to do anything but what feeds what's inside of you. Like, that's what's real in life. And here I am at 36, and I got 2 roommates in this duplex of a place that would fall apart if there was a bad earthquake, and I haven't worked maybe 2 weekends since February. Since March, I've only worked maybe 2 weekends this whole year where I made money doing stand-up on the weekends. I do free shows. I make minimal money off of the podcast for right now because it's not as big as I would like it to be, but I'm truly happy doing this. And if I keep doing that, then maybe I'll achieve my goals. Nothing is guaranteed in life, but I'm happy with the outcome because this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and it feeds my soul. And if I continue to do it and I put my head down and I focus, this could turn into something that does give me the ability to pay more bills, and this podcast could turn into something that fully is a huge part of my livelihood, and then it gives me the comfort to want to start pursuing my other goals of having a family. So it's just like, I'll never stop this. And, this goes back to last week when I was talking about art and having friends that maybe don't understand art. And, I never truly understood if my parents understood art or anyone out or in my family. I think they admired that you pursued it, but like, what it really is, and I don't think I ever really truly understood what it was when I first started out in comedy. It was like I saw it as something fun to do, and I was like, oh, I like performing, I like the attention, I like making people laugh, but I also understand, I like the business of it. I learned the business. I would watch it, observe other people, and I saw it, and I felt like I was very good at the business. And something, if you go back and listen to the episode of me and Fahim was always a pure artist. And I was someone who was like very good at like the business of it, and us together were able to help each other out. And now I truly feel like I don't care about anything else but how the art feeds my soul. And that's what this is. This is just purely art, and I'm doing what I can, and I'm putting it out there, and I have no shame or doubts or insecurities as much as I used to when you first started. And I think that goes with years of doing something. For years, you just get comfortable in your skin and what you're doing, and you believe in yourself, and you eventually get to a point where like you realize, and I don't know if this is because of the art or if it's because I'm just 36 now and other 36-year-olds feel this way too, but like you just don't care about what other people think anymore, and this is for me. This is what it is. Like I look forward to doing this each week, and I'm doing it right now for nobody. This is for nobody. I'm doing this in front of I'm recording it, sound and audio and video, and then I put it up, and it could get 100 views, it could get 0 views, but I'm doing it for myself. It's not even like doing it for 10,000 people, but like I'm here right now saying this, and if nobody ever saw this, I still feel good talking right now about it out loud to myself, because now I'm bringing this good energy that I have right now out into the real world. When I go do a show, I have to go do a show in 45 minutes, so I'm gonna go there with this energy, and I know that energy is a real thing, so other people are going to feel that. It's going to be contagious, and they're going to be like, well, why is he feeling that way? I want to be around that, and that's part of the art. And again, this episode is awesome. I feel great right now. Like the way it's flowing, I feel very connected to myself or you guys, knowing that I over the past 8 months of doing this podcast, I've gotten enough feedback to know that I like that I inspire people in different ways. That goes a long way too. With my dog episode, making people feel better about the dog, and younger comics seeing the 10 years later, part 1, 2, and 3, like that inspired. Like you never know what you can do to change someone's life, and that's also awesome as well. Yeah, that felt really good to talk about whatever I just said. That was awesome. That felt really good. And I didn't even plan that. You know what I mean? Like I put bullet points in the podcast, but then I'll find something and then my brain will start racing and I'll be like, okay, this is what I want to say. That was one of those moments that felt really good. Like that's one of the clips I should cut together and post that, because sometimes when I post clips of my podcast on my Instagram, I want it to be a little funny so it gets people's attention, because I am a comedian. So if I'm posting something on Instagram, I feel like people are expecting it to be funny. But then like what I was just talking about, that felt real, man. That felt real, and like I want everybody to hear that, because I felt like that was important, and that could maybe somebody can connect with that, and you never know what it could do for them, because I know what it's doing for me just saying it out loud. You know, talking about Wade for a second, like I was just thinking about, like, sometimes life gets so busy you forget to miss, like I forget to miss him. Like the other day I was watching his videos on my Instagram, like on my stories, my saved stories. I have like 2 saved stories of my dog, and I watched them and I was like, oh man, I really miss him. And I think you get busy with life, you forget to miss things or people. You get to your pets, your people, if someone's passed away in your life. And I think it's healthy to miss someone, like to sometimes stop. I thought that was very important, that I would like to share. So, you know, whether you've lost your mom, your dad, a cousin, a loved one, a grandparent, or even a pet, I think that, you know, it's so hard. Life comes so fast. Even during a pandemic, when things are slower, we still found ways to create our routines and get back into a fast living life where you're distracted nonstop. Like even though life isn't as busy for me, I find myself in a routine and things are going that I can't believe that it's been May, June, July, August, September, October. It's been 6 months since I put my dog down. Like, it's gone so fast almost. Like I feel like I haven't even stopped to like sit there and gone, okay, wow, I miss him. I miss this about him. I miss this about him. I remember this about him. I remember that about him. Like, it's almost like it's not like I forgot about him and I don't constantly, like, he doesn't pop in my head at least once a day. Of course he does. Everybody who's ever had an effect on your life pops through your head in every day, even going back to childhood. But like, I felt like I hadn't really sat and thought about him, and not that I needed to cry or something, but like thought about missing him. And I thought, wow, that's important to do with anything. Like, you know, I've had a couple friends recently lose loved ones. Like, you know, I've had a friend lose their dad. I had another friend lose their mom. And it's just like, I think that when it's someone really close to you, that it's healthy to stop and go, oh, wow, I appreciate this person in my life and I miss them and I want to miss them, and it's okay. And if it makes you sad, that's fine. Like, you should, that's a healthy feeling. It's healthy to be sad. It's healthy to be happy. It's healthy to be mad. Like, it's good to have all those different emotions. You don't want to just be even keel. I mean, some people are, and I'm not a psychiatrist. We know this, obviously, but I'm not saying that's right or wrong. But I think that's you know, I think you're living a little bit more because things are affecting you, and they remind you, and maybe they make you stronger or what not, you know. But I think it's good to stop and miss things once in a while, even if it's a friend that you haven't seen for a while. I think that's important, and people should do that more often. I really do believe that, if that makes sense. Well, where are we at right now? Cool. Wow, we flowed. Couple things I would like to say. Where are we at? Okay. I didn't even. Hey! 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 Shh! Yeah. You okay? I'm leaving it in. Just had to yell at my roommate. He was really loud during it, and it's fine. That's what it looks like. That might have been too loud for you guys. I didn't even check the levels, but when you don't have a podcast studio, you have to deal with what you got. And I'll yell at them. I'll yell at them because they're my employees. So if they're too loud, I'll fire them. I'll make them go outside. You're my employee. You are my employee, dude. He's my employee, bro. And now he's listening to how I respond to it. But you know what? I'm not even gonna say his name because he's scared if I say his name that he's just scared. He doesn't want to be associated with me. That's how. He doesn't know me. He's like, he doesn't know me. You know what? I'll put his headshot up right over my right shoulder and tag him. And then you guys can message him. Hey, I heard you hung out with Michael a lot, and that's dangerous for your career. What's that? It's devastating. See, he doesn't let people know that we live together. And he's another comedian that's, he's an actor slash comedian. He's more of an actor. He's an actor that does stand up sometimes. That's what he is. Here we go. Here's a funny thing that I will talk about real quick is women's soccer. Now, if you don't know anything about women's soccer, I expected that from you. But here's the thing about women's soccer. We're the best in the world, Americans. Americans have the best team. And if there's anything that shows how progressive America is, it's women's soccer. Okay? Here's a point I want to make. Like, our country, people think is a mess. You always hear this. Like, the country's so divided. It's a mess with Trump and Republicans and liberals and what's going on with Black Lives Matter and police brutality. All the problems you can name about what's going on in society today. Here's what's funny is America is at its best it's ever been. And it always is. It always is in the present day. Like, there's countries outside of America that are hundreds of years behind us. Like, the Middle East, like, women get no respect or rights in the Middle East, okay? Or other countries, like the fact that women are the best, like, if this makes sense, the fact that women's soccer is the best in America shows how progressive and how, politically correct we are. It's because we give them the opportunities because we know that they are equal. Like, we're all just humans. But like soccer, American soccer players are the worst. We'll never win a World Cup. Like, we're not good at it because they train so hard in Europe and South America and all over the country. They're just so much better than Americans. But if they had they don't give the women the rights to train and get better at soccer. If they did, they would murder us too. They would kill us in soccer, but they don't have the same respect or opportunities that women do in America. So I think women's soccer is just a great representation of what a great place we actually are in. That's how you know. Like, if you want to know what countries around the world are similar to America, let's just look at all the top fucking 5 countries in the World Cup. Like, that means those countries are pretty open to, like, being equal with women rights. That I want to bring it up right now and look just to prove my point. But I mean, look, if I type in top women soccer teams worldwide, let's see what happens. Here's the FIFA World Ranking. Let's see what it is. USA, number 1, obviously. Germany, France, Netherlands. Have you ever been to the Netherlands? That place gets it. That's Amsterdam, okay? I've been there. Sweden, England, all right? All pretty similar countries. Then Australia, and then Brazil. The first South American country is Brazil. Now, Brazil is good. I don't know what Brazil's economy or what they're like. Canada, 8. Canada's there. And then Japan. It's all, okay? All of these countries are a democracy. And they're all great countries where there's women of power, there's women CEOs, there's women in politics in all of these countries. So those are why those countries are the best in soccer. But as for men, look at the worst countries with women. And then let's go with how they're treated in these countries. Ready? I don't really know, to be honest. But if I go to... All right, ranked, the lowest countries ranked. I can't even say some of these countries, to be honest. Some of the lower rankings. Kenya. Singapore. Armenia. Palestine. Honduras. Ethiopia. El Salvador. You know. Just to give it, those are the lowest ranked ones. So, I kind of have Indonesia, Cuba. I feel like they're fine over there. Pakistan, Turkey, Iran, Israel, Peru, Greece. Greece doesn't do well. I can't Venezuela. So, I might be onto something. I could be onto something, that there is a correlation with how good a women's soccer team is for their nation and how they are treated in that country. There could be a correlation. That's all I'm saying. And based off just what I've looked at, it seems like I'm more right than wrong. So that's an interesting fact that I thought that was pretty interesting. Other than that, the craziest thing for me of all of 2020, the craziest part of 2020 for me is the fact that there's people that think aliens are visiting us. And I know that some of you guys are going to be like, how do you not believe that? There's been like the CIA has put out stuff or the FBI put out stuff earlier this year. Here's my thing. Like, logically, and I might want to do a bit about this, and this is why I want to talk about it on the podcast, because I want to riff it out here and figure it out if there is something funny there. Here's the thing about aliens. Do I think that there's life outside of our Earth in our solar system? Of course I do. Logically speaking, something my dad always said, let's have common sense. The universe is just so big, and we know that's a fact. That's a fact. The universe is so big that the chances there is another planet the same distance away from the sun or relatively close to the same distance away from the sun like our solar system is highly probable, because there's millions and millions of solar systems, maybe even billions of solar systems that are like us that we can't even see. From what we can see, we already know that there are some planets that are similar to Earth's makeup. Okay? So to think that there's no life on other planets, it is just not a smart thought. It's like stupid. So it's definitely logical that there is life. Now, to think that there is life as intelligent as us, maybe not. There's for sure life out there. I don't know where it is. They could be. My whole thing is there could be an Earth that is 10,000 years behind us. There could be an Earth that's 10,000 years ahead of us. There could be an Earth 1,000,000 years behind us and 1,000,000 years ahead of us. There is life out there. Now, did it evolve how we did? That's the next question. Did it evolve into human? You got to understand, this planet had dinosaurs. If a meteor doesn't hit it, do we even exist anymore? So what do those planets have? Do they have intelligent life, or is it just life? Intelligent life is the key. Now, is there a possibility that intelligent life was planted here by an alien race that was like, oh, we found? Is it far-fetched to think this? If you are a believer that aliens have been here, right? And we'll get into that in a bit. But if you think aliens have been here, right? Is it far-fetched to think that if they have been here, then they've been coming here for a long time? They haven't been able to just get to Earth in the last 100 years. That's not something that would start. Because think about how far advanced they would have to be to even travel light years to get here. So this wouldn't be a new thing that like, oh, wow, what a coincidence. When we started having technology, all of a sudden aliens could finally reach us. Like, no. If they were getting to us, they've been getting to us for hundreds, thousands of years. That's how far advanced they would be. So is it far-fetched to think that maybe they've even been here thousands and thousands of years, and that they might have put intelligent life on this planet because they saw that it was sustainable to provide for humans because they're similar to they're built the same way as us. So they found it and they're like, hold, we got to expand this. Is that far-fetched? I don't think so. Okay? That's a theory. We don't know, but we'll put that aside. I just want to put that in there. Now, to think that they're coming around now all the time and people are seeing them, to me, this is why this is stupid. If you could travel the speed of light, if you could go that fast, I mean, we already know that it would take a lifetime to get out of our solar system. And we already know that there is no life that we can connect to anywhere close. NASA has been able to find. The only thing we have is unidentified objects in the sky. UFOs. We don't know what they are, right? We know that's a fact. Doesn't mean that's aliens. We just don't know what they are. Doesn't mean it's aliens. Understand that. It doesn't mean it's aliens. Could be anything. But we don't think it could be. You have no idea what the hell could be going on there. You have people like Elon Musk, right? Good guy. You also have people like Elon Musk that could be like Hitler. Who knows? Who knows what they do, where they live, where they are? Who knows? What government they work for? What if those UFOs are other? Who knows? There's a couple videos, okay? Who knows? That's all I'm saying. My whole thing is if you're traveling the speed of light, right? You're traveling the speed of light and you come to America, you're not going to be like, oh shit, they could see us all of a sudden. Like, you're so far advanced technology-wise, they could be here invisibly. They could be standing around us all day just looking at us and we wouldn't even know they were there. That's how far advanced. Like, think about how far advanced we've got in our technology from 1990 to 2020, just in 30 years. Just in 30 years, think about how much we've gone. Now, take what we've done in 30 years and imagine what we're going to do in the next 30 years. It's going to be even crazier. Just these 30 years is the beginning. The next 30 years is crazier. Now imagine what we're going to be like in 200 years. 200 years from now, in 2020, in the year 2220. Think about how crazy far in technology and advance we'll be, right? Now think about an Earth that could potentially have life somewhere else that is 10,000 years ahead of us with technology and however they came. And they can travel the speed of light. You think they're going to come to our Earth and then be like, oh no, and crash? Like the New Mexico, and what is it? Boswell, New Mexico? Is that what it is? You think that happened? Right? Hold on. Yeah. You think that an alien in the 60s, I think it was the 40s actually, Roswell, New Mexico. You think a UFO crashed? You think a UFO, you can't travel the speed of light and then crash. That doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen. So that's, to me, is just like not common sense. It's not common sense. It doesn't add up. So that, to me, is out. My whole thing is, do I think there are life out there? Yes. Do I think they've been to Earth? I don't think we would know. And I think that if we did know for sure, like we saw the videos of that, I think that they're in contact with the highest power of government and they would want us to know that they were here. And if you're seeing an alien or you've seen an alien or you saw a UFO, that's because they want you to see them because they're here to give us something or tell us something. And I also believe that they wouldn't be hostile because the more intelligent you are, the less hostile you are. And I think that they would only be here to help and they would keep an eye and maybe teach us and help us become better people and be more efficient and help us learn things. That's what I truly believe. So that if we did see something and it is a fact, it's because they wanted us to see it, because they want us to know, because they think we're ready to know. That's where I'm going to say. There's no accidents. There's no like, oh, we caught them. That doesn't happen. You can't travel the speed of light and then all of a sudden some fucking idiot from Missouri is like, I got a picture of him. Doesn't happen. Okay? Nobody is catching a film of a UFO who's like, yeah, well, you know, this is what I do on the weekends. And the guy's like, well, I travel the speed of light, but by the way, I'm going to let this guy with his stupid fucking camera catch me. Like, that doesn't add up. Let's use common sense. That's all I have to say about that. Sorry if I got too upset. I don't know if you guys are interested in that, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, that was fun. If I could choose a different way to end the podcast, would I have? Of course. That wasn't the best way to do it. I didn't think that the aliens and the women's soccer necessarily went with what I was doing this week, but those were definitely subjects that I wanted to get into, for sure. Next week's episode's going to be good because I'm going to be doing it from Miami. I'm going to Florida this weekend, and it's going to be interesting episodes because I'm going to have a lot of material for what's going on in Miami. I'm going to see my buddy Tim, who is a DJ, and I'm going to have him on next episode. And we're going to learn about that world a little bit. It will be a different setup. We'll have 2 mics going. I'm going to have him on there. I'm going to figure out how to do it during the week, and I'm going to do a podcast from his balcony in Miami. Hopefully the weather's great, and we're going to learn about that world a little bit because I think it's interesting, and I think it's a different type of art that I think that we should all dive into a little bit, and we should all experience, because at the end of the day, music is the universal language, and it does touch us and we connect to it, and it can make anyone feel better. And even when I listen to not even the type of music that he's into, just music in general can always lift your spirits, but it can also remind you to miss someone. It could remind you to miss, a loved one. I mean, that's why love music is so breakup music is so popular, because it's healthy to cry that out and feel sad and have those emotions. So, music is a very important thing, and we're going to get to go into that a little bit more next week. Man, I just realized that my blanket is, the tag is going over the left side of the bed. And I like the tag to always be going out over the foot of the bed because that's the right way to put it. And I don't know if the blanket is a perfect square. If it's a perfect square, it's not a big deal. I could just rip the tag off and then I won't have to think about it. But seeing the tag is going to bother me, and it makes me think, oh, I definitely, I might have to remake my bed. I messed up. And, do little things like that bother you guys ever? Do you have that OCD problem? I'll have to figure it out because I feel like it is a square, that there's not one side bigger. Are square blankets, blankets that are on queen bed square? Like a king is probably not a square. It's a little bit more of a rectangle. Who's to know? Who's to say? It doesn't matter. But, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Takeover podcast. Again, if you're listening, 5-star reviews. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Check out the Takeover Clips page. Check that out. Leave a comment, join the team if you please to, if you want to help. Thanks for listening. I appreciate all the help, and you guys are the best. And thanks for being a part of the team. And I will see you guys. I will see you next week from Miami. Next week's episode, Miami. I love you, Miami. Bye.
The Takeover.
Okay. Did we start? Yeah, we did. That's how I start.
Takeover.
Now, there's a lot of things we're going to get into. When I speak, and when I speak, and when I speak.
This is the Takeover.